耶咿耶咿耶咿哈吼，耶咿耶咿耶咿哈吼。恭喜你发财，恭喜你精彩。不好的请过来，不好的请走开，礼多人不怪。我祝满天下的女孩找个好男孩，在一块。我祝满天下的小孩都分球球在分转脑袋。我祝尊敬的姑奶奶36圈的比赛气不喘面容不改。我祝三叔公的买卖生意扬名四海，在亨通住豪宅。大摇大摆，乐天替你消灾。恭喜发财，要干的够好卖。恭喜发财，恭喜你发财，我恭喜你精彩。好的请过来，不好的请走开，礼多人不怪。Okay, right here we wishing everybody a happy Chinese New Year and also a prosperity one. Yeah, yeah, ha ho. Yeah, 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 ha ho. 祝大家笑口常开，风行把爱去灌溉，明天我们更厉害。我祝在这世界的舞台，那的比人还快，别人年年出人才。大摇大摆，乐天替你消灾。恭喜发财，要喊得够豪迈。恭喜你发财，我恭喜你精彩。不好的请过来，不好的请走开，哦，礼多人不怪。One more time， 恭喜你发财，我恭喜你精彩。不好的请过来，不好的请走开，哦，礼多人不怪。恭喜发财。
All right. And of course, that was none other than Hano Lin doing that opening presentation for us. And we're going to be moving into our conversation at this time as we talk about not just the Chinese New Year, but about two cultures and how they combine in Belize. So good morning. We have with us this morning, we have Orin, who is the president of the Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce. We have Christine Huang, who is the organizer of the Taiwanese Cultural Exchange Program. And on the end, we have Hano Lin, which we know for many different capacities, but here as a performer, and also, of course, remember, he is the owner of Hano's Coffee Shop. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. And do you remember how to say Happy New Year?
I was about to put it on New Year, and
Yeah?
you caught me first. In the break.
We were practicing.
Practice how to say Happy
New Year in Chinese.
Yeah.
We say the New Year happy.
Yeah.
Translate into English.
If you
like
do
this
it
way.
directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And you taught Marlene how to do it, and she will tell us how to do it right now.
I'm trying to remember the first two words. I know Huayu, but it's
新年
新年快乐.
快乐。
She's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
yeah.
新年好快乐.
Oh, wow. You can
All right.
do the extreme too.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. So that was all I know in Chinese. But let's just start talking about why the New Year is around this time of year. Let's just get that clarified now, right? Who wants to give that explanation?
Okay. Actually, the Chinese New Year, have to say it's like a Lunar New Year. According to lunar calendars, the lunar calendar has been used by Chinese for more than at least 3,000 years. Not only Chinese, the Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, or even the Malaysian,
Quite a number of Asian.
Most of the Asian country, especially in Far East. So I just heard about the news. The Australian government, they don't want use the Chinese New Year because they want to treat every people in. They say they want use the Lunar New Year's, but in our Taiwanese history, we say Lunar New Year too. So the Chinese New Year not only belongs to the Chinese, it belongs to a different kind of people. And the lunar is according to the months.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have only 345 days in the lunar years, right? So it's like a shorter than 11 days from the solar calendars.
Yeah.
So like every 19 years, we have 3 different months. So some after 3 years or 4 years, there's 2 June or 2 Julys. So
That's
maybe
a concept we will have a hard time
Yeah,
adjusting to. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe we have a 2 January
Yeah.
in some occasions, but first one will be a New Year's. The second one there won't be the New Year's.
Oh wow.
That's a complex calculation.
That
That's why
is
we were
really,
Asian as,
really more than my mind can wrap around.
It's something like Easter.
Yeah.
How come Easter change every year?
Changes, yeah.
It is according to the moons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the new moon, which was yesterday, right? Or today? When you talk about the lunar calendar, yeah.
The lunar calendar, the first day is
Yeah.
the first day of the month, right?
Yeah.
In the middle, like 15 days of the month, will be full moon.
Yeah.
So the new moon should be on the today.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
I was checking the calendar to see.
Yeah.
It's such, and we were asking you how long you celebrate. You said sometimes a whole month. This is a very festive time, right?
Well, basically, if you talk about the holidays, more likely is more than a week or two. Yeah, but the celebration does carry all the way for more than two weeks of time for some of our traditions. Majority we could get to see that we celebrate this day as like a family gathering the most.
Yeah.
And then of course we get to visit maybe our friends or the far relatives too. So we're using this day to make a great connection between the family again, because throughout the year everybody gets too busy or gets to have their business life, and then they rarely get a chance to come together using this day, or like we said this as like a long public holiday is just trying to have everybody come together and join as one. So.
And I love that you talked that it's about a connection time, and that's what we wanted to talk about this morning. Just, talking about what is it like for you living in Belize, having a very different culture, and having to assimilate, I guess. We were joking about your Wayabera.
Yeah.
But let me backtrack. How did you come to Belize? Why did you choose to come to Belize?
Actually, it's not difficult. It's very difficult to say how come I come to Belize because it's long story. But kind sure it's because I have a relative right here. They invite me to visit, and my wife here, so we stay right here because in the Far East, every country is a lot of big populations.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, every country has the small country like Taiwan. That we have 24 million people living in the area slightly larger than Belize. You see the Korean, they have 50 million people. The Japan is 120 million people. For China, they have 1.5 billion people. And even Vietnam, they have reached 100 million people right now.
Yeah.
Even the Philippines, it does belong to the Chinese culture area. They're more Spanish, more Americanized. They have more they have 97 million people right now.
Yeah.
So you see,
So Belize is empty.
yeah,
Almost.
in this area, like they have almost 30 billion, sorry. So you can see how competitive in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the people who want to have more space,
Yeah.
they have moved out. So you see a lot of Chinese people have tried to go to everywhere to seek the opportunity to find a
What did
life,
your wife like about Belize?
the nature,
Oh,
the friendly,
greenery. Yeah.
the friendly of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really enjoy the nature and the air, fresh air, the blue sky, right? The animals.
Tell us about your stories.
Well, we moved as a family.
Yeah.
I came here when I was 10, which is pretty much without any choice. But of course, after all, I get to appreciate because my father is a hired constructor when he was just here to visit the Belize. But when he just came here all by himself at the first, right? And then he get to see that, well, the environmental concern, like Mr. Orin say, is all about nature, a great environment. And also he feel that this environment could have a better mental growth for us as a child, because we, like I said, we are from a very competitive society, which is it might cause several stress when you were during your growing stage. So he felt that Belize get to share more freedom and free wills in thinkings. So
Hano, you have to tell us, at 10 years old, you leave a very developed, fast-paced, modern country, and you come here. You probably weren't very happy for a while.
in reality,
Tell me the truth.
I felt a bit, like you were saying, I felt a little bit strange that because when, like you were saying, from a far developing to a place that's more into natural, then you will feel a little bit different. And I do spend a little time to get adjust the mindset. But I guess after all, it's a better choice. Because like I say, yes, maybe we didn't get to share a better resource upon the technological wise developing. But somehow I felt that after all, you get to feel much more free thinking. Like I say, for myself, I'm an art student when I was in the JCs, right? And then I get to feel that I come up with a lot of the great thinkings and a lot of the art structures.
All this fresh air that we have.
And like I say, yes, develop have its own advantage, but somehow we get to share a good fresh air, clean ocean, and great marine biologies environments too. So after all, I feel is more achieving than what I have came from too.
And for you, Christine, I mean, not only can you speak of your own personal experience, but as the head of the exchange program, the Taiwanese Cultural Exchange Program, you have to prepare people as to what to expect when they come to Belize, and the other way around as well, right?
I don't usually deal with the people coming to Belize, but and I also came with my family to Belize when I was around 12 or 13, so I also had no choice. But different from Hano, I adapt better when we came to Belize because my parents, they love the cultural diversity in Belize, and I love experiencing the different cultures. I love especially the nature. The Belize Zoo, I love the Belize Zoo. It's very unique.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun coming to Belize, and I actually didn't miss my own country as much. It's different, and I enjoy it. And our work in Belize is not, we didn't aim to have an influence on the people, but like you said, we do exchange, and we find the things that we have in common, even if we are so different. What are the things that or traditions we have in common, so people can live peacefully with a better knowledge of each other.
Let me ask you, I just want to have one question. The challenge here. So for Belize, because, and I do want to say, because we don't have that much knowledge of Asia, especially the Far East, we just stereotype everyone as Chinese. And you know, Asian cultures are diverse. So we try to explain to if somebody just calls you, you know, Latin American, it means you're either from Mexico to Argentina. And it's kind of what we do with the Asian population. What was that like for you, where you came to Belize, and I'm sure you've been called Chinese pretty much all the time?
Yeah.
More Chinese, right? Nothing else.
In China, we have identified at least 56 ethnic groups.
Yeah.
And within the different groups, we have different culture, even though we have a more generalized culture, like the New Year celebrated among all the ethnic groups. But
What was it like, though? It had to be a little bit strange. You came as an adult. What was that like for you?
Almost 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the, you mean the different celebration for the different people?
That Belizeans wouldn't look at the different ethnicities or even sometimes the different countries that you may come from. You just classify it all as one, and not necessarily Asian, but just everybody's Chinese.
Yeah. Because you cannot tell the who is Chinese, who is Korean, who is Japanese by appearance, but we can feel. But for the Chinese, right? We say that generally speaking, the Chinese people, they consist, like she say, has a 56 or more than that ancestral group. But from the ancestral group, 90% is Han group.
yes,
Han group is like us.
like us.
Han group. So maybe more than 1 billion people is a Han group, right? From the Cantonese to the Manchurian or the Beijing, right? Majority people is Chinese, is Han group. In China, they have to classify you belong to Han group or you belong to Muslim or you belong
So
to...
you do ethnicity before you do country? Is that what I'm understanding? Like your first classification is ethnicity versus country?
No.
Because you said...
No, in Taiwan we don't do that.
Yeah.
But in China, they have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have different groups, different
Okay.
ethnic group. But we do have we call Aboriginal group, right? In Taiwan, they have 10 or more than 10.
Different
They are,
tribes.
It's 12.
yeah, like a
Okay.
tribe, like Aboriginal. But most of them is modernized. They living style is the same as you and me, the same thing, right? So generally speaking, you can call us Chinese, right? As a race, as a people, as a people.
The origins.
But for the, I don't want to talk about a political way because political way is more difficult, right? Our nationality is Taiwan, right? And some people is from maybe Hong Kong or Singapore or Malaysia. They have a Chinese orientation. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I actually have an interesting encounter with people calling me Chinese. From day one, I'm used to it. I don't, because my grandparents, they came from China, so I don't really reject that idea.
Yeah.
And I just accept the people they don't understand.
Yeah.
And just recently, a person called me, Chinese girl or something, and his friend told me, what if she's Japanese? What if she's Korean? Or what if she's Taiwanese? I said, wow, and he knows a lot.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
Yeah. And you have a different experience, Hano?
Well, likely we do get to share that we have been classified as one specific group, but then somehow, like we said, our origin or ancestors, it does come from China too, right? But somehow I do believe that where we came from, and we get to share that lot more respect than before. I mean, like compare your time between right now till 20 years ago, it sure has a lot of change.
Yeah.
People will get to having a better understanding about who you are or who you came from. Sometimes if you're having a great friendship with some other, people get to to share that ideas to the other who haven't really catch that similar ideas yet.
I'm very curious in terms of these two parts of the world cannot be any more different in terms of, I've never been to that side of the world again, but even in terms of technology, in terms of culture, in terms of competition, development, even in terms of where we are, in terms of our rankings, you know, Taiwan is a developed country, Belize is a developing country. How much of the difference, if you were looking for the opposite of Taiwan, in the dictionary, it probably would be Belize in a lot of ways. How much of that difference, even in terms of China, and I'm sure if you break the China comparison even economically, we're completely different. How much of that difference do you appreciate, and how much of that difference you think that Belize could adopt from Taiwan to incorporate here to make us an even better country?
Taiwan becomes Taiwan, China becomes China, has a history.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, let's say this way, from the history, like from the past 1,000 years, there has more than 100 war inside China.
Yeah.
So the peaceful time is very, very rare, right? So most of the time, Chinese is living in distances. It live in the poor situations.
Okay.
So they are eager to make rich himself, right? We have been liberalized, by the communists after World War II, right? And the China opened their door to world. It's 1980s, just 40 years ago, and the Chinese people start to want to make rich, right? Because they have been poor for generation to generation, right? They have a strong eager to make rich, so they want to get every opportunity, right, to make rich. They keep every cent they make to make a better life, right? This difference. Even in Taiwan, after World War II, we have nothing at all. We are losing country because our president was defeated by the communists. He bring the troop to Taiwan without nothing, only the people, only the knowledge, and the people who live in Taiwan just
Work hard.
Work.
work hard,
Yeah.
saving everything for their children,
Yes.
to educate, right?
Yeah.
They become our manpower. So it's different. So even right now, we keep everything. Maybe our parents keep everything they make to give their children to have better education, better livings.
Yes.
But for Belize, from my observation, right? You are more enjoyable in your life than think about the futures.
We could also say we're more wasteful too. We're not as careful. We're more wasteful, and we don't appreciate.
Not really, because I think the most wasteful country is America. With everything.
No, but what you're talking about, I think, is something that perhaps is one of the cultural differences, or one of the things that we come to learn and understand, is the discipline for hard work. I mean,
They have to work. They have to work
when
hard.
you meet people who are living or working in China or Taiwan, I mean, there is no off time. It's just always work and always producing for your children. I mean, some things have changed.
They have to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they cannot survive.
Yeah.
Because you see
It explains your economic growth in so fast too. One of the reasons
Yeah.
the economic growth. But what about similarities? What are some of the things that you got here and you said, wow, that's just like us? Between Belizean people and your own culture.
I think within families, especially how parents they teach their children in school, I think stereotypical Asian mom or Chinese mother, they are very strict. But when I come here, Belizean mother are just as strict as our Chinese mom.
Tiger mom.
And they do also give everything they have to their children, and I really appreciate that similarities that we have.
Yeah.
And I don't see difference in those aspects. In Taiwan, we also have more developed in the north, and then in the south it's more warm and slower paced.
Okay.
Very similar to Belize.
Okay.
Yeah, so I experienced both, and I find very familiar things in Belize as well.
Right now, where Taiwanese or Chinese culture is, in Belize, in my opinion, it still is a little bit below the surface. In terms of, there's not an exertion yet of the influence of Taiwan, China, in terms of the tapestry of Belizean culture. We see the Garifuna, for example, making statements for the Mayan people who have, but for some reason, to my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, to me, it's more in terms of business and a bit of cultural exchange, but it's not pronounced. Am I right in saying that? In terms of the influence that is exerted by the persons who are from China and from Taiwan, in terms of their influence on Belize. You understand?
Yeah. For this idea, right? There's an old saying, right? If you conquer with war, right? It's like how do I say? It's an old saying. If you conquer other people with weapon, right? It's not really like a good things. But if you conquer people with culture, it's good things. But for the Chinese people, they don't want to do much influence other people's cultures. It's from very long history. Only the people try to learn from China, right? It's because how do we call China in Chinese? China is mean the kingdom of the middle. So all around
Kingdom of the Middle.
Yeah, kingdom of middle. All around the country had tried to learn from them. This is their old thinking, right? So like Japan, like Korean, like Vietnamese, right? Like all these countries, they learn something. They try to learn something from China, so their culture have it from China apart, and they develop their own culture, and with some Chinese culture ingredient. And Chinese is very conservative. They only live in their own words. So we don't try to influence your people, right? We appreciate your culture, right? It's what I'm thinking. Even the people, the Chinese people in America, they have been there for like 150 years. They are now the major culture in America, in the States. They only live in the Chinatown. The younger generation go out to work and come back. And they even don't see them as Chinese because they look the same as
So
American.
It's more of like a personality or a cultural.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's mainly why we do the work that we do, because of this wall that we built for ourselves.
Yeah.
My mom or my parents, they are very interested in doing exchange for the other cultures to learn about our culture and for our culture to also find the things we have in common. Like for example, we have arts in paintings. In the 2015, the Taiwanese embassy, Ambassador Ho, he hosted a Chinese painting calligraphy exhibitions. And Miss Fiona, she helped to arrange for the exhibition. And to our surprise, we had around 1,000 students and teachers who visited with us in the 3 days of the exhibition. And through the activities that we have, we find out that the students really learned a lot from these paintings and the introductions that we have. So, and then with that, in 2017, we did the Taiwan Culture Exchange, and thanks to you guys, we have opportunity to promote the event.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of very good feedback from people who attended the event. Not only did they learn from us, but they also teach us new things within their traditions, like the festivals that we have in common. Maybe we celebrate in our unique ways, but we are very happy to find out that we have a lot of things that we have in common.
Yeah, yeah. You know, all three of you, and rightly chosen, are an example of just how you do integrate within society. You're the head of the Chamber of Commerce. We know how much Belizeans rely on the different grocery stores that are around the country, and that's just one aspect of the business that you do. Of course, when we talk about the art exchange and the contributions of yourself and Miss Fiona and how she's helped so many of these young, talented artists grow into what they are today, that is, I think, just so inspirational. And she just loves art. Like when we actually get her on camera, I can say that much. And Hano, you broke the mold, especially when you said that Chinese people are quiet, polite, conservative. You were not conservative on that stage of KTV, the remix. And I never forget when you did make the clarification to people that you were Taiwanese, but you also had an openness, and Belizean people really embraced you and your style. So why I say all of that is just, it shows how much there is a cultural appreciation that is taking place. And what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because I'm looking at a generational gap.
Yeah.
Because he's looking at it like,
Oh,
Yeah. There we go. That's how we know Hano. Why was there no dancing with the song this morning?
that's the 恭喜发财. That's like congrats for the new prosperity years. or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, just putting it as we move the conversation forward to the new year, how do you integrate Belizeans and Belize into what is your traditional celebration for the Chinese New Year?
Likely, the celebration won't be that like because we don't get to have lots of the celebration equipment or the resources here. But then somehow we, like I say, it's like family things we get to share. Also, furthermore, sometimes if we have a good friends, we wishfully to also get them to understand how important this is us as well. Yeah, so it's likely.
Go ahead.
My bad. I haven't off the phone. Sorry. Yeah, and so as like we do understand that is important things to share. That we respect the culture, we respect where we came from, especially the origins that we have came from. Yeah. But also we wishfully to share that certain parts of the ideas or the calendars or what ancestor has brought to us, with sharing to the people about how this greatness is. And of course, whenever we get to share the holidays spirit, it's always something fun or something happy.
And people always ask you about a red envelope, right?
Oh.
That they know about.
I was surprised because people who came to my store and asking, hey, is there a tradition that you give him money for put into a red envelope and then sharing out? I was like, that's just between family, you know. Yeah, but
they know that part of the tradition.
It's surprised that how people get to know a lot of the thing between us, and also we get to share that we are already having most of the common ideas of our culture, or actually, I should be saying, is a vice versa understanding that we have been understanding your part, and then of course we get to share the same respect from you guys too.
you know, let me jump off the deep end. We're about to face a referendum.
Okay.
And I know that it's going to affect all of us, whether or not you're Hispanic mestizo culture, Maya culture, Chinese, Taiwanese, Mennonite. What is the feel of the Taiwanese slash Chinese population in Belize of what we're going through with the territorial referendum? And is the community, I know you can't speak authoritatively on everyone, but what is the feel from the community in terms of where we are, and because you guys are voters, I'm right? Yes. So will you guys be participating in the referendum? And what do you feel about the whole issue that Belize is having with Guatemala as a constituent group of the country?
It's a very serious question.
Yes, a very serious question.
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, it's a new year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A new challenge.
We do have Mr. Lima Chang and Eric Chang.
Yes.
They do a promote invite the people, the Chinese people to register as voter to vote, and we try to do. I have published a Chinese newspaper. I also try to translate to let them know what the situation Belize and with Guatemala right now. It's something like Taiwan with China. We can feel this kind of feelings. But fortunately, you have solution. There's maybe go to ICDF or something.
Yeah.
But for China and Taiwan, we haven't have
Come to a solution.
No.
yeah, it's quite difficult because let's say this way, Guatemala is difficult to take over Belize without any help. But China is so big. Taiwan is so small. We are facing this kind of situation. It's more difficult than Belize.
And you don't have a solution.
Yeah, so we encourage the Belizean people to vote no matter what. And also we encourage our people right here also to try to understand, try to express their idea to vote, right? From previous time you see, from previous election you have seen Chinese people come out to vote because they have people come out first to educate those people because for Taiwan, we are a diplomatic country, so we can vote anytime, any election. But for the Chinese people who live in mainland China, they don't have voting IT experience. So you have to educate them. They are
That's true.
the host of this country. They can run this country with their voting, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So there are different ideas.
I wonder if it's a different perspective for
The
generationally, yeah.
Well, like I say, when there's a voting chance, is a way to expressing your generational ideas. Especially we are like second generation compared to Mr. Orin. And of course, we do believe that if we will be able to express our understanding, and of course, we are just trying to sharing visions about how will we carry this country to the next level. And when, like I say, this, in terms of like what we have came from, there's a political issue as well. But somehow we have no idea how to make a solution within the country barriers or the main struggle between two or the both sides. But of course, we're still trying to be an open-minded person. When turns definitely there's a solution towards each country's problems. But somehow we do believe that if we will be able to educate ourselves to knowing much more ideas about how this vote could help this country, then we will definitely need to be involved. But somehow, of course, we will not be able to step down and then treat this as, oh, your problem, that's your problem from your generation, or that's my problem from my generation. I believe it's entire things that we have to come together and step forward.
Wow. Well, thank you for your perspectives this morning. It's been a great conversation. And of course, all in commemoration of the Chinese New Year. Is there any specific message you want to send out for the New Year before we close off?
Yes. For the Chinese people, right? For the Chinese people, they only thinking two things. One is make rich, one is get promote. Okay. Yeah, because as an officer, you cannot get money, only get a promote. They win the salary. So I wish that every Chinese people, every Belizean people can get promote, get more money in these years.
And of course, I wishing that there will be a good fortune years because it's a year of pig. Pig means is a wealthy or well-rounded personalities, right?
Well-rounded.
in the body structure, yes. But of course, hopefully everybody gets to. The body won't get to be like pig, but fit as you can, and of course stay healthy, and be learning a good fortune from each and everybody's too.
And for you, Christine?
Let's practice again Happy New Year. So New Year is 新年
新年
and Happy is 快乐
快乐
大家 is everybody. So 大家新年快乐
大家新年快乐
Yeah.
Yes.
谢谢
Correct.
All right, and I think my Mandarin teacher is coming in, so we should be happier. But thank you once again for coming in, and Happy New Year to you. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll keep with the theme of Chinese New Year, and this time we're going to be making some dumplings, so stay tuned. Yeah.
Stick around.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we're back. And we're moving into our first last conversation, but this time we get to understand what it means to be celebrating the Year of the Pig in the Chinese New Year. We have with us Taiwan ICDF Mandarin lecturer Huayu Chen, and we have Edward Yang, who is also a Mandarin lecturer at the University of Belize. Right? We mixed up the titles, didn't we? So you are a Mandarin lecturer, you've taught us before, and you are the ICDF Mandarin lecturer. All right, so thank you. We made that clarification. That's Edward and Huayu.
Huayu Chen.
Huayu Chen.
Yes.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. 新年快乐.
新年快乐.
Thank you for having us today.
I told you the Mandarin teacher was coming to tell me whether or not I did it right or wrong.
Your 谢谢 speaks very well.
Okay.
I'm glad you still remember that. And when you see me here, you know it's the Chinese New Year. Because last time I was here is the Year of Dog.
Yes.
And it has been 1 year. So time flies.
Yes.
And this year comes to the Year of Pig. That's the last one of the 12 animals we talked about previously.
Yes.
So this year we have our Edward Yang. Yeah, he has the Mandarin classes in UB. So today he will introduce us some of the Year of the Pig.
So Edward, who's learning Mandarin at UB? Is it regular students?
Yeah, mostly some of my students, they are regular students. And some of them, they are employees or they are just workers, because I also offer like Mandarin customized courses for those people who are they are interested in learning Mandarin or the culture, so they can just take the courses after work. So most of the people could be foreign students, because in UB we also offer English program for the foreign students to come here to learn English. So they can also take Mandarin courses as well. So they can learn something different culture here, because in Belize, it's quite diverse, right? You have a lot of different races here, like Chinese, Taiwanese, and Mennonites, Mestizo. So it's very amazing.
I have heard that it's one of the most difficult languages to learn.
Well,
and to write, it's even worse, I hear. Is that true?
In the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning. Well, that's the most difficult part.
It's a very long beginning.
Well, it depends on how how hardworking you are. Okay, so it depends because some people say that Mandarin is the most difficult language is because of the intonations. Because we have 4 intonations and 1 neutral intonations. So and because I like English or Spanish, you don't have the intonations. So let's just take time to get used to it. That's it. And then the characters. But in my courses, I don't really focus on learning to write because nowadays the technology is quite convenient.
I was going to say, just
so,
switch your keyboard.
Yeah, so that's why I'm training them that they have to recognize the character. So they can just type, they can spell it, and they can choose a character they want. So nowadays you can use a phone or a computer to type. So actually, it's much more easier for them. And then,
is it true that in Mandarin, no 2 characters are like in English you can put A and N. And you can and then you put a D and so you can recognize characters that way. Is it true that in Mandarin each character is almost completely separate? So if you've not seen that word before, you just don't know that word and you can't sound it out.
Yes, because Mandarin is not a phonetic language, so it's unlike English or Spanish or
That's
other
hard,
languages. Well, just like for my students, they also say that the first time they saw the character, they say, "Oh, why it's so difficult?" But I say, well, because in our language, like a traditional characters, we have something we call it reticle. So the reticle that help you to you're gonna know that okay, what it is about. For example, we have a reticle of the little box. That's we call it the mouth. So when you see that character, you know, okay, so like eat, we have the reticle of box.
I was gonna say, I have learned how some of the characters actually look like the words that they represent as well.
Yeah.
So it's not as scary. It's
It's
once you
less
start
stress.
to pick up little cues to help you through. But how surprised are you at the interest in people to want to learn Mandarin from both of you? I know. I'll give an example.
Yes.
In the States, in the U.S., there are quite a lot more people interested in learning Mandarin for business. It's an essential skill, much like we need to know Spanish. Has it trickled down in Belize at all that you find that people really realize that they need to learn this language eventually, or may need to for business purpose?
Well, as I say, because I work in a university, and because Taiwanese government, we offer the scholarship for the students and for all the Belizeans. So that's why some of my students, they are interested in getting the scholarship. So they want to know the language first and then about the culture first. So they think that would be very interesting. And some of them, because they like Asian cultures, and some of them because here in Belize you have a lot of Asian people, so they want to get in more about their language and also their culture, so they can know more about their friends, that what their background is, or what their culture is really are. So that's what I want to know.
What about the language? What can you learn from the language? What about the language teaches you about the culture? Is there something?
Yes, there is some actually because that culture, because language is a part of the culture. Yeah. Okay, so actually you can say like language, for example, that in English, good night. Okay, that's the most easy one. So good night, you can say that as a greeting, right? And then but in Mandarin we say 晚安. But 晚安 for us, mostly we don't use it for greetings. Okay, we always have the good night in Mandarin, but good night for us, we only use it before we go to sleep, or like when we leave a party or leave an event that we are going to live in, that we say as a farewell, we say 晚安. We don't use it as a greeting, so that's why. So that's including the culture things.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Year of the Pig, though, because you know Hano is giving a bit of insight that this is a very prosperous year. Do we look forward to the Year of the Pig?
Yes, I think so. Usually, the people born in the Year of Pig, I think they have more luck than other animals. For example, my brother was born in the Year of Pig, and I was born in the Year of Rabbit. Every time we went to buy lottery, it's always him that got the prize, never me. So that's how we say that the Year of Pig is a sign of the prosperity, and people born in that year, you can expect to have more wealth.
But what is the how do you tie together pig and prosperity? What is it, because it's a fat animal? I don't know.
Not really, because in Asian culture, in a long time ago, usually people they are raising the animals at home, and usually they raise like ox or pigs. So actually pigs are one of their priority as well. There's properties, their properties. So they can sell the pigs or they can eat the pigs. So pigs are very important in their culture. So if you have more pigs, which means that you are more rich. Yeah, you're richer.
Yeah.
And then like in English, you also have something like you call it piggy bank, right? So that's why that's the way you put the money, right? So
but could you go back for me and give me a little bit? Explain to me this whole thing of animals and which animal came last or which animal was asleep.
It's a story.
What is this story about? What is?
It's a racing story.
It's a racing story.
Yeah, we had that last year.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it's because people, the emperor, the god emperor in heaven, thought that it's hard for people to remember which year they were born. So he think about an idea. He think that, okay, we will choose 12 animals, and that people just remember which year you were born, and then that would be easy for you to remember. So he then had a race. He said that, okay, every animal can participate in the race, and who's the 12th first, and then you will be chosen. So that's how we have the mouse, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, and then the goat. Monkey, rooster, dog,
and then
pig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
There
There we go. So we have the 12 animals that chosen, and there is a story that the cat was originally very fast. Probably will be the first one, but because the mouse used some too smart.
Really?
Yeah, too smart. And
Clearly,
then
I'm year of the
push
rat.
push the cat into the river, so that the cat came 13.
Wow.
That's why afterwards the cat always chased the mouse.
There you go. Do you know what year you are?
No, I
Okay.
don't know.
I believe you have a chart.
Yeah,
of
there's a
the-
chart.
And it goes
so you know.
cyclically. So if it for every 12 years it starts over. So it's like a periodic calendar.
Yes.
So let me ask, because how much do you subscribe to the beliefs of what your animal year represents?
Yes.
In other words, if we use, so people can understand at home, like we have our own horoscopes. We have your Virgo, your Capricorn.
Yes.
And so some are very fixed to what their zodiac sign says. So if I'm a Virgo, I'm supposed to be X, Y, Z. Is it the same in terms of Chinese culture? Or has it been shifting where people just say, that's just horoscope, that doesn't mean anything?
Well, I think it's just the same as the constellations because the Chinese zodiac. So we also have the personality or the characteristic for each Chinese zodiac. So for example, like the year of the pig, we usually say that the people who belongs to the pig, then usually they are more realistic. Because like I said, the reason why they are realistic is because like they're not just doing the talking. Okay, they also do the talking and also they also do the actions. They're not just do the talking and they do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also like they say that pig people, they are more materialistic. Okay, so which means that sometimes they will treat them nice. Okay, treat themselves nice, they will buy something nice, and then, but also at the same time, they are not a bit not too wasteful. So which means that sometimes they will save the money, so probably that's also related with the piggy bank. Okay? So that they want to save the money, but also sometimes they know what's the fun is, that they will enjoy the life. Yes, there's many parts of the characteristics.
How much of this? First of all, are you saying that Chinese Taiwanese people are very superstitious? One, and two, how much of it is just the population size in terms of it's a large population, and so to connect with each other and to understand the culture and the interactions with people, it's kind of like an easy way to know, okay, if I'm going to deal with somebody who is from the year of the snake, for example, this is what I should expect. And so it's a way of interacting in a very large population.
Yeah, it's like the Western horoscope.
Yeah.
It's the same, that when you know that, you were born in the year of let's say, tiger, and then we probably will expect, probably will be a little bit more energetic, and maybe you want to do something very fast, etc. And if you were born in the year of the dog, probably you will be a very cute person. So
How about compatibilities? I mean,
Yeah, there are.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So like for the most compatible with pig, usually we say is tiger, and then tiger, then rabbit, and goat. And the reason why it's tiger, they say that because pig they need a security, and then the tiger because usually they think that tiger is very energetic and strong.
I thought the tiger needed a meal.
No. In the real life, like, we don't eat each other, right? That's for the animal life. So, yeah. So then, which means that they think that tiger can give the pigs what they need, the security they need. And then the rabbit is because that rabbit was attracted by the pig's intelligence and then their warmth. Because pigs are related with that very friendly, very energetic, enthusiastic.
It also helps you. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it also helps to guide you with some of the big decisions that you make in your life as well. So, like, you would start your businesses. This is the year that you'd want to start a business, the prosperity year. There's
not really, because every year the fortune teller will have a list of what if you were born in what year, and then for your fortune, for your health, for your career, for
when
your
to start families.
For the family, they have the list of what you should be careful and what you should do or not to do. So every year the fortune teller will give you a list of that. So it's not apply to every animal. That's saying, oh, this year is the year of pig, so everyone can start a business. No, it's probably just for some
animals.
So it's not for general.
Is this still very popular, or as technology and time goes by, it is probably less popular with the millennials or the new generation of the culture?
Oh, it's the young generation here.
Well, you mean that like the most popular zodiac?
Is it
No,
becoming
like
less
if
popular?
you still follow it and still subscribe to
well,
the
Or
business.
so you say that's my granny thing?
Well, nowadays, because probably we are more, right now we're more like, we know the Western like zodiac. So we still know that what our Chinese zodiac is, but we just know that. But because I think about it, actually I saw a very interesting story about that before. Like when I ask people like, what's your Chinese zodiac? And then usually we say that, oh, I am monkey, I am pig. Okay, so think about it. If you say telling people like I am pig, so that doesn't sound very nice.
To a Western.
So Western way that sounds more pleasant. So that's why we prefer. So I'm snake or I am monkey. So that's why we prefer that. That's a funny way to say. I was like, okay, I accept that.
Okay, so what else can we talk about? What else can we look forward to in a year of the pig? What should we know and understand?
Well, like because of this year 2019, okay, this year is the year of the pig. So also in Mandarin we call it 本命年. Okay, so 本命年, which means that
命年.
So 本命年, it means the birth year. So which means that because if you're born in this year, then which means that your Chinese zodiac will be pig. And then usually that if you, so for example, if because a 12th animal is a loop, right? It's a cycle. Okay, so which means that you can 2019 minus 12, then you will know that 2007. Okay, so that would be the year of the pig. Sorry, I'm not good at math. Okay.
You can't say that. That's the stereotype that we have.
I know, so I'm an exception. So, so then 2007, so that would be his Chinese zodiac will be pig as well. So which means that even 2019, this year, so you have to be careful, because usually when it's your 本命年, it's your birth year, then which you're facing a lot of ups and downs. So that's why, so usually that people, this is your zodiac, this is your year, then which means you have to be more careful and then try to attend more if you try to get as much as luck as you want, then you can try to attend a happy event, attending a wedding or attending a party, then try to get some luck. Then you can try, and then because in our culture we like to wear color red, we use a lot of red. So they say that you can try to use more red, more auspicious color on you can wear that, or even earrings or lipsticks. I thought that would help too.
It's just interesting because recently a Belizean wrote a book on superstitions. Sharon Marin Lewis, very interesting. And I'm listening to you describe what the Chinese calendar and the zodiac experience is. And it reminds me of the Mayans and the way the Mayans believed that, okay, that there was this end that came. And there's a bit of doom in it too, though. You agree? There's a bit of ending and doom. You have to fight off these spirits that are, so you have to wear more red and do all these things.
Oh, that's because of the why we wear red during the Chinese New Year is because the legend saying that why we say 过年. 过年 literally means past the year, and 年 in ancient Chinese it is a monster. It was a monster that come to eat the villagers. So there is a god came to the village and tell the people that if you wear red, and then the monster is afraid of red, the color of red, and also you use the firecrackers, and you make dumplings and of the New Year, and then the monster is afraid of the noise of the chopping. Yeah, so that's why.
Which is why the reenactment of the dragon in the streets as it goes to the businesses, it's part of that same tradition as well, right?
The dragon and the lion, they represent some good, strong strength for the business to have some good fortune.
And the firecrackers too is a part of the celebration.
Yes. So do we have the PowerPoint that that
ahead.
were prepared?
No.
Oh, because he has a New Year program in UB.
Well, I'm just going to bring up. Okay, so because in the next week, okay, February 13th, so if you're interested, I'm going to have the cultural event. So that's about a Lunar New Year. Okay, so it's free for everyone. So you can just come over. So you'll be in UB and for free. Then everyone can come here and enjoy that, how to do the spring copulate or doing some lanterns and then suit and paper cut. That's the traditional way we would do. Yes. Cool. And then that's what we do in a tradition way. And then also like about the Mandarin courses. That one, because in my courses not only about the language, we also mention about the culture things too. So I would mention different festival or like why do we do that or something. So that's quite interesting. So yeah.
Nice.
If it's interesting, that you can just contact with me, or if you guys willing, then we can leave your numbers after that.
All right, so we're moving from talking about the Year of the Pig to talking about some of the food, and you mentioned that dumplings are also a part.
I'm sorry to say, after we talk about the Year of Pig, we are going to use pork to make some food. So
and I thought you said we don't eat the animals.
We do. Well, we eat, right? Because we raise the animal, we keep the animal, and then as a property, we sell them or eat them. If you have more, then you can
thank
raise
the
them.
animals.
Value associated with
Yeah.
it. That's why, yeah.
So
we're going to shift over and we're going to look at what would be a traditional meal around New Year's Eve, which is the dumplings, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move over on that set, and
It's easy to make, so I think
it shouldn't take too long.
it's not hard and doesn't take too long at all. So let's move over a little.
Yes, so here we go.
Yeah. Good luck.
okay.
So we're doing dumpling 101.
Here are the things we need: the fillings, the dumpling wrappers, and some water, and this are the dumpling that finished.
Yes.
So dumpling is one of the comfort food for the Chinese people around the world. So rice, noodles, and then dumplings. Because dumplings, you can see we have carbohydrate and the protein and fiber. So in the filling, we put usually it's a ground pork.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can also put to almost any kind of meat you like, and almost any kind of vegetable you like.
Yeah, because they're vegetarian dumplings too, right?
Yes, you can eat that in Mama Chen. So, so for the dumpling, it's very easy for you to make at home.
Okay.
Because the filling, you can just use anything that just mix together and put some salt and some scallion and some ginger and some rice wine, and then you have the filling. And then the wrapper, if you can do that from scratch.
I was going to say this looks like ready-made.
Yes, that's not my work, because that's really time consuming. So you are lucky here in Belize.
So this is the tradition, actually.
You are lucky here in Belize because you can buy the ready to use wrapper in Mama Chen and also the chef, the chef meat shop. So you can buy this. And
don't worry, in Belize we can get ready-made flour tortillas now too. So
okay, so first you have the wrap here.
Okay,
and then
so what would you say in a tradition for the family? People would make this together.
Yes, actually the culture is in northern China. Northern China, they eat dumpling as their New Year food, because you will see the shape will be like ingot. Ingot, that's the Chinese ancient money. Ingot, right? I-N-G-O-T.
Okay, you got to show me how to pinch.
Okay, so you got the
water
here. Okay, now I will show you 3 ways of doing that. First, you
pinch the middle.
Pinch in the middle, okay? And then use your left finger to hold it, and use your right finger to make a fold here.
I got you,
okay?
I got you. So this one bends.
Yeah, and then use your right finger to make the fold here.
This isn't looking too pretty, but...
Okay, and then you use your right finger to hold here, and then your left finger to make the fold here. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the first way. And then it will be...
What's the easier way?
Like this. You want the easiest way?
Are you laughing at my dumpling? Yes, he is. My dumpling looks like a dumpling.
That's good. That's pretty good, actually.
For a first time, I think I did okay.
So now I will teach you the second way.
Okay. Is this the easier way now?
A little bit, probably. I'm not sure. It always takes practice.
Yeah.
So the more you make, the faster you will be. So add some water here. Okay, so this time you start from the side.
Okay.
Okay, you hold here, and then again use your finger to make the fold here.
So you only fold one side, right?
Depends. Actually, oops, I have some meat here. So actually, the way is that you want to make it stick together. So when it is boiling, it's not break down. Yeah,
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why can't we just put a fork on the end and
you mean like a meat pie?
like empanada.
Okay, now I will teach you the easiest way.
That's hard.
I saw somebody
Kevin
laughing
is
there.
laughing. And you know what? You should come over here and try to make a dumpling.
He just want to eat.
I know, right? I know. Knowing Kevin, he'll come over and say he's a master dumpling
So this way
maker.
will be easier. So we put water around. Now this time you have to put
the whole
all
thing.
around.
Okay,
the whole,
good.
Okay. And you just stick them together. Okay.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah.
And then you pull the side.
Okay.
And then add a little bit water here again, and to stick
together.
So again, it looks like
I
money.
like that
too.
one. See, my
and
one
this one is easier.
looks a little different.
That's easy, right?
Okay, where's the camera? Yeah, this one is much easier.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want to do something that you just put together, that's okay too. So that's why I say it's very easy for you to make at home, because you don't have to.
Especially since you have the ready-made dough.
Yes.
That makes a difference.
Yes. So now.
How do you cook it? How would you cook it?
Okay. After we finish this, if you eat right away, and then you boil water, a pot of water, and then when it's boiling, add the dumpling one at a time.
Okay.
Not all together, one at a time to let it not to stick
Okay.
to the pot. So you use some fork, some spoon to make it not to stick to the pot. Okay, and then when it's boiled again, the dumpling will pop up to the top of the water, and then let it boil for another 1 minute, and then it will be
then you have
ready.
beautiful dumplings.
Yes. So when you eat
So you know I'm terrible at chopsticks. Like I've used them. I know. I've had every lesson that is possible.
Okay.
And
so
I'm
just try to grab. Yeah,
I know
that's
the
good.
I know the
that's good.
basics.
That's good.
I could never.
Okay. So you can just eat like this.
Yeah.
Or you can use some of the
That's the good
it's
stuff.
the soy sauce.
Yeah.
Plus the sesame oil and plus some of the ginger. Yeah. Some of the
And
garlic
cilantro.
and cilantro. So you can dip
Dip it in.
and then
Eat it.
Yeah.
And these are the
so
delicious.
these are the most
So
delicious.
would you say that every household has dumplings on New Year's Eve?
No.
No.
No, because it's the culture of the northern part of China.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the southern part, usually they eat 馄饨.
What
Wonton. It's
wonton?
like another kind of
Sounds
dumpling.
like wonton.
Yes. I think you can get that in the Chinese restaurant
Yeah,
too.
wonton, which is
Yeah.
like it's deep fried.
Which is like, actually, when you made this, you can use a boiled dumpling. That's the most generous and the healthier, the healthier eating way.
Yeah.
And then you can use it as a pan fry.
Yeah, pan-seared, yeah.
Yes.
With just a
And-
little bit of crisp.
And also you can steam. So one dumpling, you can use 3 ways to
Okay.
cook. Okay. And then for the wonton, it's a little bit different because the wrapper is a little bit thinner. So it's not as thick as the dumpling.
Okay.
So it's different culture, but because dumpling is the one of the most popular food in the Chinese culture, so nowadays we can eat that every week. Yeah, whenever you feel hungry and then you don't know what to eat, you just cook the dumpling. You can make some for the prepare after the preparation. If you do not eat right away, you just put the dumpling into the freezer, and then whenever you want to eat, you just let it
defrost. And
no, you don't have to defrost.
Oh.
You just have the boiling water
And just
then
drop it in.
just drop it in.
Even better.
Yeah, and then you can have a very balanced meal.
Yeah.
Because you have all the nutritions.
What is the dough made out of?
It's just flour and water.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you still make it traditionally sometimes?
Yes, I think so. It's time consuming, so
I could imagine. It's like to get it this thin. But
Yeah.
there you have it. We just
yeah,
made dumplings.
but homemade
on
is
it.
always the best.
Yeah. There, we had dumplings made from pork, and it's a great way to show one that somebody can make something new.
Yes.
We have all the tools right here in Belize that you can use, and instead of going out and ordering it, you can try to make your own recipe.
Yeah, and very healthy.
Yeah. So thank you once again for coming in, for having this conversation, for dressing the set, and for doing our little crash course in Chinese and also understanding the Year of the Pig. Thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢。
新年快乐。
Yeah. 谢谢. We're going to go ahead and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap up, so stay tuned.
最好的请过来，不好的请走开。